Hello guys, welcome back for another review. It's super gloomy outside and I'm feeling extra bright today. I just wanted to feel warm and sunny today, even though the weather's not looking that way. Anyway, I have another review for you guys today. It's the Essie Gel Couture Regal Rebels collection. And I kind of didn't hear about this until Beyond Polish contacted me and said, we're going to send you this. And I was like, oh, amazing. So I was super excited when it came because there are so many beautiful colors in here. And I think you guys are really going to like a lot of them. This is available at Beyond Polish. You can use my code GOLAURIE10 for a discount. That is an affiliate link. And once again, I appreciate you purchasing off my link, especially if you watch my reviews because they definitely take a lot of time to do all these comparisons, so I appreciate your support. Before we get into that, I'm going to talk about what's on my lips and what's on my nails. On my lips, I am wearing Shine Cosmetic Lip Gloss. This is called Good Life. It's a beautiful, it describes it online as like a rose, and it is kind of rosy, but it's definitely kind of a corally rose. I love their lip glosses. I haven't pulled them out for a while, so it was kind of fun to pull this out. And then on my nails is one of the polishes from this collection that I'm going to talk about this one first. If you haven't tried the Essie Gel Couture line, I definitely recommend them. They're one of my favorite nail polish lines. They're long lasting, which means they do take a little bit of time to dry, just so keep that in mind. Their brush is amazing and they always apply so well. And every time I pull them out, I'm like, man, I just love this line. I need to pull them out more. They're kind of tucked away in my closet at the top where I have some space for some shelving. And so sometimes I forget about them and I really just need to get them out where I can see them. But they are amazing. So this one is Regal Rebel and this is the namesake of the collection. And I love shades like this. It's a really soft kind of grayed out lavender shade. Like most of the Gel Couture polishes, it has that slight silver subtle shimmer in there. It's beautiful. I would say this shimmer doesn't show up a ton with a lot of these polishes. It really just gives it a little kind of glow, and in the sun you'll maybe be able to see it a little bit. It's so subtle, which I actually love, and I feel like it does make these polishes glow, and so I love that about it. So this one has a great formula for being a lighter shade. It's going to be opaque in 2 coats, and it just applies really nicely and smoothly, and with that brush there's really not going to be a ton of cleanup with these because the brush is shaped so nicely and amazing. This totally reminded me of one of my favorite Essie Gel Couture shades. It's called It Pearl, and so I'm going to show that comparison to you guys here so you can see. My first set, I have It Pearl, and you can see that's a little bit lighter. It's super close though, but there's definitely no shimmer in It Pearl. So they're a little bit different, but they're pretty similar. And then Stretch Your Wings is more pink and lighter, and Go Ginza is brighter and more purple and not as muted, but they're all kind of similar shades. And then as far as OPI goes, I have OPI Quest for Quartz. That has tons of glitter in it, but the base is kind of a similar shade. And then OPI, you've got that Glasgow is more mauve leaning, and then OPI Graffiti Sweetie is a more cool toned purple. A few of you asked me about Graffiti Sweetie compared to one of the new Olive and June polishes, Lavender Stems. Lavender Stems is definitely more of a sheer than Graffiti Sweetie, but that was a good one to think of. It made me remember that polish and pull it out, so I'm glad I have it on here so you guys can kind of see that polish because it is a great one, but it is different than Lavender Stems, and I just wanted to note that because I had a few people ask me about it. But anyway, I like this shade quite a bit. Right now I'm kind of in the mood for some brighter shades, but I did want to put this on to see how much I really liked it, and I do. And then we have Gilded GLITZ. They really need to make their writing on this bigger. I know I'm getting older, but it really is so hard to read. I feel like my eyesight's pretty good, but the letters are so small, it really strains my eyes. But this is a beautiful buttercream, but it's definitely more orange leaning. So it's kind of like a nice creamsicle orange shade. And it also does have that subtle shimmer in there, and so it does give it that glow, which is really nice. I do like shades like this better than just a yellow buttercream because I like the orange hue just a little bit more. The formula on this one is really good too. Since it's a light yellow though, I would say 3 coats on this one just because it was still a little patchy in some areas with 2 coats, but overall it does have a very nice formula and it applies very evenly. Okay, so let's look at those comparisons. I compared it to All or Nothing, and that one's more orange. I thought it would be really close to Feeling Wellies, but that one's brighter and definitely more orange. That polish is amazing. It's probably one of my top 10 Essie polishes. It is so good. Oh, I gotta pull that out again this spring. If you don't have that one, you definitely have to get it. And then then I compared it to this Essie one here. It's like Fun and Games or something. It's on there. I was going to put Hey There in there, and I think I switched it last minute to another one because Hey There was a little bit brighter and this other one was closer, but that one's not the same either. It's definitely more yellow leaning. And of course, all of these polishes that I'm comparing don't have this subtle shimmer in there, so it's definitely unique that way. And I do feel like this shade is quite unique because I didn't have anything exactly the same tone, but it's just a nice buttercream orange shade. And then we have Ruffle Up, and this is a peach creamsicle color, I would say. I like how creamy these are. You can see how yellow this one is next to it. And this one's fun too. It leans a little bit more orange, and it does have that same subtle silver shimmer in there as well, which is going to give it that nice glow. I think this will look really nice with a tan. The formula is really great on this one too. It's going to be opaque in 2 coats. It just glides on the nail. It's so buttery and creamy. I might have added this to my favorite peach coral video if I had seen this before. In fact, when I was going through my gel couture polishes, I was like, dang it, I have some favorite corals that I didn't add in my video and I'd already filmed it, and I was so mad I forgot those because they definitely would have been in there, and I wish I would have been able to get on here and talk about them. Maybe I'll film that today and insert it. I think I will. So anyway, this probably would have been one that I picked, and I think it's going to look beautiful on darker skin. And let's look at those comparisons. So I compared it to Barking Up the Wrong Sequoia is super close, if not exact, but maybe a touch more brown. But that was the one that I found that was close. And of course that one doesn't have the subtle shimmer in it like this one does, but the color tones are very, very close. Essie Set in Sandstone was more of an orange, and it's not as peachy. So this was a beautiful one too. I'm really happy with these really creamy colors. And then we have Tulle the World, and I love this green, you guys. It is amazing. I would say it was like a cool tone green, but it's definitely leans a little bit warm compared to some other ones that I like. So it's kind of in between. And it is very creamy too. These all have quite a bit of white in the base, which really makes them kind of softer shades, which I really love. And this one does have that shimmer in it as well. The shimmer in this one shows up a little bit more than those other ones for some reason, and maybe it's because the color is a little bit darker, but I really did appreciate that with this one because it made the color even glowier than those other ones, and it has a fantastic formula. It's going to be opaque in 2 coats. You just can't lose with a good green like this. Okay, so let's look at those comparisons because companies have been coming out with a lot of greens lately. So I have 2 sets of comparisons. In my first set, I compared it to Turquoise and Keiko's, and that one's more crelly and lighter and not as green. I always am surprised how sheer that polish is when I apply it. I always want it to be a little more opaque, but that's just how that polish was made. And then Essie Jade It Happened is more of a muted shade, more grayed out. Olive and June Cucumber Sandwich was the closest. I feel like that one is a little bit lighter and a tiny bit less green, but they're very, very close. And in fact, when I was taking the pictures, I was like, oh, they almost looked exact, but I don't know if you can see those slight differences. If you're not a fan of Olive and June and you love that color, though, that's one of my favorite Olive and June colors, obviously, because I like green. This is a good one to get in the Essie line. And then I compared them to some OPI shades so you could see. So I have OPI My Dog Sled is a hybrid, and that's darker, more turquoise. And then OPI I'm on a Sushi Roll, which is more blue and darker. And Essie It's High Time, which is new from spring this year, is brighter and lighter in color. And I just wanted you to see how it compared to that. I got asked a lot how It's High Time compared to some of those OPI colors that I have in there. So I thought that would be nice to pull those in so you guys could see how they compared, because I didn't compare them last time because obviously they're not very close and they're quite a bit different. So hopefully that was helpful. This is just amazing. I love this one. It's probably my favorite from the collection. Next we have Laced and Ready, and I love this shade. It's a mid-tone periwinkle, but it's very, very blue leaning. It's a blue leaning periwinkle, and it's very creamy. Like I said, it has quite a bit of white in the base, and it also does have that slight silver shimmer. It is so pretty, you guys. This is going to build up really nicely in 2 coats. It's quite opaque, and the formula is really nice. All these formulas are pretty consistent and pretty similar. Essie and OPI both have polish that are pretty close to this one, so let's look at them and compare those and see just how close they are. Essie You Do Blue is a similar color base, but that one obviously has that purple shifting shimmer in there. That one's really pretty and fun for summer. And then Essie Ripple Reflect is a brighter blue, and then Essie Bikini Sotini is definitely lighter and brighter, but it does have some shimmer in there. The shimmer in Bikini Sotini is a little bit chunkier than the glitter in this one. And then of course Ripple Reflect doesn't have any shimmer, so this one is a little bit different than all of those. Some OPI comparisons, I compared it to Dreams Need Clarification, and I feel like that one was pretty close. I didn't write anything in my notes, but hopefully you can see here. And then OPI Can't Control Me, I felt like was very similar to Dreams Need Clarification. I had kind of forgotten that, but I feel like Laced and Ready is quite a bit darker. And then Rich Girls and Po Boys, that one is definitely more of a rich, dark, starker blue. So I didn't have anything that was totally exact, but as you can see, those are kind of similar. I like that this one has a little bit more blue, and I think it's so fun for spring because it is a little bit muted and it's not just like this super bright periwinkle. So this one's fun. And last we have Gloves Are Off, and this one is a beautiful mauve shade. It's like a dusty raspberry, beautiful, beautiful shade. It also does have that subtle shimmer in there. This is like a one coat wonder. It's going to go on so nice and rich and creamy with that one coat. You're definitely not going to need two. I like to do 2 thinner coats, but it just really has amazing coverage. I haven't had a polish like that in a while. I've kind of felt like, at least I felt like I haven't been saying one coat wonder in a long time, but this one is definitely that. There are some polishes that are pretty close to this one, and let's look at those. My Lips Are Sealed is more red, but kind of close. And then Just Laying Around is a touch more purple, but close. And then Island Hopping is more of a softer shade, definitely a little bit more grayed out, which I was surprised by because I thought this would be almost exact to that. And of course, none of those have this subtle shimmer in there, so that gives you an idea of color tone. And I really enjoyed this one too. I feel like I might wear this one towards the end of summer as we're getting into fall. I'll probably be reaching for it then. Okay, we're gonna pick my favorites, and I picked these four for right now. I really did think this was an overall good collection, but I'm gonna be a little picky and just pick these four. I love this green, and the shimmer in these is just so amazing. Tulle the World is the green, Ruffle Up is the orange creamsicle shade, Laced and Ready is the blue periwinkle, and Regal Rebel is the nice lavender shade. What do you guys think about this collection? I am loving the subtle shimmer that they keep doing in the Essie Gel Couture line, and I think it's so fun. If you guys remember, Transition Piece was one of my favorites. The shimmer in that one really just gave it a glow, and I think it's because the formula was a little bit sheer on that one. These are a little bit more opaque, so they're not quite as noticeable and glowy as that one, but I'm just really liking it. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you liking these collections? Tell me if you're going to pick any of them up. I would love to know. Thanks again for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below, and we will see you next time.